I have here absolute German cookie classic, Vanillekipferl or vanilla crescent, however you want to call them. And they're super buttery, vanilla-y, and yeah, quite easy to make, and I absolutely adore them. The most important ingredient in vanilla crescents is of course vanilla, and here I take the mark of a fresh vanilla bean. For this I cut the vanilla bean lengthwise in the middle, but not too much so that I cut the pod completely, but only the upper half so I can unfold it. Then I can scrape the black gold out of the vanilla bean with the back of my knife and add it to the sugar for the dough. The scrapped out pod should not be thrown away, because there's still a lot of flavor in it. You can still use this, for example, when you're making pudding or vanilla sauce. I will make my own vanilla sugar later. In any case, you can store the pod in an airtight container, such as the jar in which you bought it in, even a few days in the refrigerator. But now it's time to make the crescent dough. For this I take flour, sugar with the scrapped out vanilla pulp, ground almonds, and butter. All exact quantities are of course as always in the description below. Then I stir them with the kneading hook attachment of my hand mixer until the dough has combined to crumbly consistency. Then a little manual work comes into play as I knead the dough until I have a cohesive cookie dough. This dough must now first be cooled. For this I press it into a container as flat as possible so it cools more quickly. Then I put the container for at least 2 hours in the refrigerator. Now comes the promised preparation of the vanilla sugar. For this, of course, I take sugar and cut my vanilla bean into several pieces. If you have time, you can now leave the pot for a few days in the sugar until it dries out a bit, so that the vanilla sugar later will not clump so much if you store it for longer. But of course, I want to use the vanilla sugar already for my crescents, so I fill the whole thing now in a blender and grind the sugar mixture until I have no more vanilla pieces in the sugar. The sugar becomes kind of a powdered sugar in the way as well. By the way, this is also a trick. If you don't have powdered sugar in the house, you can use the mixer to make your own powdered sugar. The vanilla sugar mixture steams when you open the lid, which is really funny, I think. Now the vanilla sugar is also ready and I can simply fill this back into my jar. So now you have a large portion of vanilla sugar ready to hand. 1 teaspoon of homemade vanilla sugar replaces 1 package of store-bought. As soon as my dough has cooled down, I take about half of it out of the box and put the other half back into the fridge so it doesn't get too warm. The first half I have to knead now first somewhat warm again so that I can then form my crescents. I roll the dough into a longer roll to make it easier for me to form the crescents. This is not so easy because the dough breaks very quickly. As soon as I have the roll, I take smaller pieces of the roll away and then form the crescents by tempering them slightly at the end. Then the crescents come on the baking sheet and are baked with a fan at 160 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 11 minutes. While the crescents are in the oven, I prepare the sugar mixture. For this, I take powdered sugar and my prepared vanilla sugar. If you have no homemade vanilla sugar now, you can alternatively buy bonbon vanilla sugar. I mix both types of sugar, and as soon as the crescents are out of the oven, I stiff the sugar mixture over the crescents while they're still warm. Of course, you can also roll them into the sugar, but the crescents are really fragile, so I decided to use this method. To make sure that the bottom also gets some powdered sugar, I loosened them slightly with a spatula and put them through the remaining powdered sugar. But I must admit, it doesn't leave as much powdered sugar stuck to the crescents. But for my taste, the amount of sugar was still absolutely perfect. Yeah, today we have a classic, a Vanillekipferl or vanilla crescent. I had to look up that name.
But even in German, it's hard to pronounce.
Yeah, that's true. But everybody knows them and everybody loves them. But I wanted to do that recipe for a really long time, but I was quite a bit afraid of it because I heard that the dough should be really sticky, but it wasn't so hard actually. And I'm very surprised how I managed to do it. And I think we just try them.
I will just take a half one, else I will be covered in powder sugar.
Yeah, that's true. They're a bit hard to eat and they're also a bit crumbly. I will take the other half.
Sweet, but not too sweet. Dry, but not too dry. And perfectly this bank holiday feeling.
Yeah.
So Christmas time is coming.
Yeah, it's really a reminder, like, because I think it's like a childhood memory kind of thing also. And for me, it's a perfect balance of vanilla flavor. I also really love vanilla, and it's not too much. It's not overpowering. It complements the buttery flavor really well. And yeah, I think the amount of powdered sugar is also very good.
It's not too much, because else it will be too sweet.
Yeah, and I really like them. I was very surprised how I was, yeah, but, oh my God, it's so good. So they're definitely on my list for every year cookies for Christmas time now. Yeah, just leave me a comment how you like the cookies, how they went for you. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to no longer miss any new videos.